Okay. So before I go, so we are in the last three verses of Nectar of Instruction. And these last three verses, I think for 9 and 11, the purport is not very long, if I remember correctly. 10th is slightly longer, but they are kind of clubbed into a similar theme. So before I get into that, I don't know how many I'll be able to cover. We'll be able to cover 9, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11. Let's see how it goes. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give you an overview of the flow of Nectar of Instruction, which we have done till now. And let me share my screen so that you all can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Um, so Nectar of Instruction, and when we started, I might have talked about this hierarchy in the past also, but just to give you, so the first three verses, and as we have mentioned, the Nectar of Instruction walks you through the lowest stage of bhakti to the highest stage of bhakti. And then the lowest stages where we start, the first is it comes to Shraddha. We develop faith in the process. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, and all that. And we move forward. So the first three verses, they talked about self-control and discipline. Okay. So self-control. Vacho vegam, mansa krodh vegam, jiva vegam, udaro pastave. Etan vegan yogi sahita dhira, sarva napiman prithvim chashishya. That was a self-control part. And then it also, the first three verses were also about discipline. Right? Atyahara prayasasya prajalpunyam agraha jansangha cha lalyam chan sadbhir bhaktir vinashyati. Then six things, these are six things that destroy our bhakti. Then there are six things that nourish our bhakti. Utsaha nishya dhairya tattat karma pravartanat sangatyaga shato vritti sadbhir bhaktir prasiddhyati. Okay, so the first three verses, they were very beginning, right? How do we start a beginning phase, beginning of bhakti? We have some discipline. Prabhupada gave us these regulative principles. We follow that. Prabhupada told us to chant, we will chant. We do self-control. Okay, yes, let's control our eating habits. We'll restrict from eating some things. We'll try to control our senses. That happens, right? And discipline. So both of those things are going simultaneously. The 4 to 6 comes about sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha we talked about, right? How do we associate with devotees, right? So the fourth one was dadati prati girnati guhyam akhyati prachati bhunjte bhog jate seva. We offer food, we take food. We confidentially share information of like our heart, and we hear from devotees, and give gifts, take gifts. So becoming very close with devotees, right? So there were 6 ways to love devotees. Okay. Then there was a mention of Krishneti yasya giritam. That's the fifth verse. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadhyeta. How to respect devotees at different levels. Okay. And then the sixth verse was that dishte subhava janiter vapushashta dose na bhak dishte subhava dishte subhava janiter vapushashta dose na prakritatvam yah bhakta janasya pashe. That even if outwardly the devotees look fallen or they don't look like devotees, don't criticize them. Look at their devotion. Okay, so that was so learn to see and serve devotees properly. That was the message coming in the fourth and sixth verse, fourth to sixth verse. So understand the process how Rupa Goswami is very expertly giving us a very wonderful blueprint how to progress in bhakti. Have some rules regulations in our life. Have some discipline, control, chanting and all that, and then develop proper relationship with devotees. I mean, I'm not, I'm being vulnerable here and being feeling a bit ashamed also that even sometimes I also don't treat devotees properly. Sometimes out of my ego, my whatever it may be, sometimes I might behave stupidly and I behave sometimes. But we have to be utterly careful that we don't do that. So it should always be on the top of your mind that no, devotees are Krishna's beloved. We cannot mess with them. Okay. So that's the fourth to sixth verse. So that's why Rupa Goswami has brought that aspect. That is very, very important to respect devotees and to associate with devotees. Otherwise, bhakti does not progress. Okay. Then came the 7 to 8 verse. How do you deepen your devotion? Right? That Sayat Krishna Namadi Sitapya Vidya, Pittopatapana Rasanasya Na Ruchikani. In the beginning, bhakti will seem like bitter. But when we keep doing it, taste comes into the practice. Okay. And then the next one was Tannam Roop Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrte Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. That do it all the time. it says, Kalam Naya Dakhilam Upadesha. Kal Naya Dakhil. All the time. Prabhupada translated all the time as every day. Okay. So how do you deepen your devotion? By being more and more engaged in Krishna consciousness. For example, your first hour of the day, give to Krishna. The first part of your food that you cook, you give that to Krishna. The first part of your salary, give some charity to Krishna. And then ultimately, a part of your heart, give that to Krishna. That's how your devotion deepens. Okay, so give Krishna, learn to give Krishna, consciously bringing Krishna into your life in everything you do. That deepens our devotion. And this last section is about the hierarchy of holy places and people. Okay, and we will read those verses now. But what this will tell us, that somebody who has walked through the whole path of bhakti, he or she has self-control, discipline, has properly associated with devotees, been very sincere in the practice, consistent, and eventually he or she will come to a platform where he will be connected to the pure devotees, which are be in the topmost place and the topmost devotee. So what's the topmost place? So the topmost devotee is Radharani. Okay, and the topmost place is Radharani's Kund. There's a Radha Kund in Vrindavan, and it's it's supposedly the a place which is not filled with water but love of Krishna. That's why for devotees, Radha Kund is a very auspicious place. If you ever go to Vrindavan, you can sit near on your Radha Kund and just chant the whole nectar of instruction, because that will help you understand what is the glory of Radha Kund. So this last section we're going to do is about going from all the way from Shraddha, where we develop a little bit of faith, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Arant Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhakti, Prema. So these last steps are given in these three verses. The Prema step, where does the love come from? Okay, so that's the something is being given. And then the last verse, the 11th verse, is the ultimate goal. The highest perfection of life is to live at Radha Kund and serve Krishna under the guidance of Radharani. Okay. So, and we'll go through it in more detail. I would say all those things here, but so I just wanted to cover this whole hierarchy so that you understand where we started from and where we are going to end in this process. All good? Any thoughts, comments, questions here at this point? I can jump onto the verse. All good? Okay. All good is good. Where is the verse? 9th.
Yeah, I still don't know how to raise the hand.
Yes, please tell me.
And I could not change them. Okay.
You wanted to say something on it?
Yeah, I have a question about the exam that you sent us 2 questions, and
Sure.
I was writing down it was like writing essays. And
Well, you don't have to write a very long essay, just 200 words.
okay, I tried to. I did it, but I don't know how to send you. That's
You can. So what you can do is you just take a picture from your phone and you send me that.
okay. In your
You can
I think I have a connection, right?
You can post it in the WhatsApp group. You can, if you have my email, you can email me anywhere you feel is okay.
Oh, I don't have your email. Where can I?
Can you post it in the WhatsApp group? Is that easy for you, or email is easy for you?
From my phone. From my phone. So it will be easy. Yeah. A group, I guess.
Oh yeah, please then paste it in the group. Post it in the group. I'll take it from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay. So 8, you remember the 8th verse? Tannam Roop Charitadi Sukirtananus Mrte Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. Ishthan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami Kalam Naya Dakhilam Iti Upadesha Saram. Rupa Goswami is asking us to remember to be in a mode of bhakti 24/7. And Prabhupada translated that you should do it every day. That's consistent. Consistency is king. Even a drop of water, when it falls on a rock, over a period of time, it can make a hole in the rock. That's the power of consistency. So always be consistent in your practice. Okay? That's the thing that Krishna is asking us for. That please be consistent. And that's the way we show love. In the beginning of our bhakti process, where we all are, I am a neophyte. I'm showing my love for Krishna by being consistent in the process. Whatever is happening in my life, ups and downs, sides, left, right, I am still continuing with my bhakti process. Right. So that's why that's important. And that pleases Krishna. That gives him that faith that Prem Dham is serious in connecting with him. Right. So, and what does consistency mean? Consistency means aligning your daily actions with your eternal identity as Krishna's servant. And how do we align? Chanting, hearing, serving, remember Krishna, regardless of whatever fluctuations are happening in your life. Yeah. And believe me, everybody is going through hell. Don't just think that, oh, I am the one suffering the most in the world. No, no, everybody is suffering. Most of the people, they don't show it on the surface, but down deep, everybody is suffering. Somebody's spouse is not congenial. They don't support their bhakti practices. Somebody's job is hard. They have to work 12, 15 hours a day. Somebody's health is not good enough. So everybody's suffering. So that's why be steady in your devotional practice. Right. So that's what we were coming from in the eighth verse. And when you maintain that for a significant period of time, right, then what happens? Krishna, from within your heart, he gives you bhakti. Tesham satata yuktana bhajata priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayanti te. Krishna himself says this in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 10. That when you keep practicing, then satata, tesham satata yuktanam. Satata means consistent. So when you're consistently practicing, dadami buddhi yogam tam, I give you buddhi yoga. I give you the intelligence by which you can connect. So just be consistent and be authentic. Don't try to pretend to be consistent. Be consistent, whatever stage you are. That's more important. Okay, so now here, ninth verse, we'll be given a hierarchy of the different uh, spiritual world, spiritual planets. Okay, and I think I had a slide deck somewhere that could probably give you a better understanding. Here, okay, you all can see this. Yes, okay. So the way the verse goes, Vaikuntha Janito Vara, Vaikuntha Janito Vara, Madhupuri Tatrapi Rasautsanavad. Rasautsanavad means Vrindavan. Uh, so then Rasautsanavad, Vrindaranyam, Udar Pani Ramanat Tatrapi Govardhana. That after Vrindavan is Govardhan. Right? And after Govardhan is Radha Kundam Ihapi Gokul Pate Premamrit Apluvanat. Okay, so that's the hierarchy that we are given by Rupa Goswami, starting all the way from Vaikuntha. Obviously. So let me see if I can show you a picture. There was a picture that I had somewhere. Give me a second if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Yes. Let me just share my screen. I wanted to show you something. When I say show something like pictures, there's a picture. Okay, so I'm hoping you all can see this picture. Let me just walk you through it. I can send this PDF to you on the group, so you don't have to take screenshots or notes or anything. So you understand it. So this is where we are. This is one universe. There are millions of such universes all over the creation. Okay, so this is our universe, let's put it. So in this universe, where are you? I'll show you. Or where are we all? Not just you, me also. And it'll take some time to clean up. Give me a second. Yes. This is Bhurloka here. So we are living in a 14 planetary system, and this Bhurloka is where we are. Okay. You all can see the screen, right? Hopefully it's clean now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, but it's taking some time to clean up. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, okay. So Bhurloka is where we are. That's the Earth planet. Keeps messing up. I don't know what's happening. Let me just zoom out and probably just give you from that view. Okay, so this is that planet, and Bhurloka is this planet here in the middle. So we are living in a 14 planetary system, and we are in the middle of it, Bhurloka. Okay, and millions of such planets exist in this material world. All you can see all these all over the place. When then once out of this material space is the spiritual world. So Prabhupada tells us that out of the whole creation, spiritual world is three-fourth, and material world is only one-fourth. So you can imagine how unlimited the spiritual world is. Okay. Then you come here, and in this, there are different in the spiritual world also there are gradations, as just verse is telling us. So there is Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha Loka is where Narayan is the king there. Okay. And in this Vaikuntha Loka, there are many planetary systems. All the avatars we see. There's a planet for Narsinghdev, there's a planet for Kurma, there's a planet for Vamandev, and there are planets for all the different incarnations. They're in Vaikuntha. Here, the relationship is of awe and reverence with Bhagavan. You cannot go and hug Bhagavan there, not play with him, not ride on his shoulders, nothing. He's a king, you are a servant, that difference remains. That's Vaikuntha. However, after Vaikuntha comes the more closer we go. So this is the main planetary system is called the Golok-dham. This is Goloka. Okay. Goloka is where Krishna lives with his family members. This is Golok-dham. It is above the Vaikuntha Lok. And in this, you can see, if you see closely, when I send it to you, you can see it. There is Mathura Dham, there is Dwarka Dham, Ayodhya. There are all different dhams. The center is Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. So it's like a lotus flower, and the center of that lotus is Golok Vrindavan. So where Krishna is having loving pastimes with his devotees. So, yes, Julan Yatra.
So why is Ayodhya not in Vaikunta? Because that is also the mood of awe and reverence, no?
Well, so Ayodhya, so you have to understand that in Vaikuntha, it's the Narayan form. But Lord Ram, Bhagwan Ram, is higher than Narayan. Okay. So that's why his dham is also higher. And why is he higher? Because Narayan, when the Lord Ram comes, when he incarnates on this planet, he comes with a very specific purpose. He comes as Maryada Purushottam Ram. He's giving a so Narayan doesn't come with any particular how to say it to guide people. So, for example, all the other incarnations you see, right? Narsingdev comes to protect Prahlad, and then he leaves. Kurma, so the who was that? The when Lord comes as a boar, he comes, he removes the planet Earth from the waters, kills Hiranyaksha, and goes away. So Lord, Bhagwan Ram came with a much broader purpose. So his how do you say it? His eminence was much more than all the other incarnations from our perspective. From his perspective, all the incarnations are same. So we should not, from our perspective, the way he presented himself was much more elaborate, expansive, more relatable than all the other incarnations other than Krishna and Balram. That's why he has a much higher position. Did that make sense?
Yes, that clears. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Sandeep.
Prabhuji, that's a very interesting point because like if you look at the temple chart, right? And I couldn't understand 100%. Obviously it's very complicated.
So it's the
But the
same
way I
chart.
got it,
This is the same chart, Prabhu. You
same
can.
chart. Okay, Prabhuji.
It's the
Okay.
exact same
So
thing. Yes.
the question is like, so Narayan is like the descendant from Krishna, right? Garmadakshi, Vishnu, Vishnu, and then, from
Mhm.
that comes a Ram, right? From a hierarchical,
Mhm.
descending person. So isn't like in a way Narayan a little bit higher than Ram because Narayan came out of I mean, sorry, Ram came out of Narayan, right? From a hierarchy perspective, who came from who. So
Well, so
my
all
question is,
the
Prabhuji,
when all the incarnations come, all Bhagavan comes, he doesn't want to disturb anybody. So understand that. Even the people who are atheists, Bhagavan does not want to disturb them. That is why they come through. Like even Krishna was born, right? He came through a mother. But Krishna is he's not born through anybody. He's ever eternal existing. So Bhagavan, when he comes on this world, when he takes avatar, when he incarnates, he does it in a way that it does not disturb the people in any way. So similarly, when you see even Krishna came, it looks as if Yashoda Maya gave birth to Krishna, or Devaki gave birth to Krishna, and then Mother Rohini gave birth to Balaram, and so they all come in a way that people think that they are just following the normal rules routines of the material world. But Bhagavan doesn't need all that. So similarly, Ram might seem as if he's coming through Narayan, but he's Bhagavan. He doesn't need to do anything. He had to just show it in a way so that people could see that yes, he has these extraordinary qualities of Bhagavan, but he's also coming through the same way as other human beings come. So when devotees look up to him, they can love him. And the people who hate him, they don't become so averse or become so hateful of him that, oh, look at him, so arrogant. He didn't even want to come through a mother. He just appeared by himself. I don't believe he's Bhagavan. So he comes to minimize the disturbance in the society also. So it might seem, yes, that all the avatars come through Narayan, but that doesn't make Narayan like, for example, when you come out of the hospital, let's say the nurse brings the baby out and gives it to the grandparents. But that doesn't mean the nurse bore the child. Mother is still in the hospital. She's probably still in the bed recovering. The mother is the original mother. But it might seem to the outside world that, oh, the baby came through the nurse. But then doesn't make the nurse the mother. So the mother will always remain there. So similarly, Bhagavan, just to show the people, he takes this route of being born as a mother, oh yes, coming through Narayan and all that. But Bhagavan doesn't need anything of that. I'm not sure if I made it clear or more confusing for you.
So Prabhuji, Krayo Daksha Vishnu, Garbho Daksha Vishnu, they are like expansions. So is Ram an expansion, or he's like, where does he fit in, like from that standpoint?
Expansion, what do you mean by expansion?
Like Krayo Daksha Vishnu, Garbho Daksha Vishnu, right? They like come out of each other, right? Like that, right? From a
So
hierarchy.
they are Purusha avatars. You're mixing probably two concepts. They are Purusha avatars. They are avatars, right? So there's an avatar, and then there is Bhagavan. So when Krishna comes himself, he's not a part of the Vishnu trilogy or something of that sort. He's not. He's Bhagavan. He's coming right from the spiritual world down here. So when I was showing you this picture, if you see, I'll show you those things. Okay, give me a second. This is your Mahavishnu here. You see him?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a material one. Then this Mahavishnu, he expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He's here, still a part of the material world. And this Mahavishnu further expands as Kshirodaksha Vishnu and sits in everybody's heart. So don't confuse these expansions with Bhagavan. They come with a specific purpose, and then they go back. They don't. So whereas when Bhagavan comes, he's coming right from the spiritual world. Bhagavan Ram or any of the avatars, they come. Yes, they can take the channel of Narayan, but then they eventually come here, do their leela, and then they go back. So they can use that channel, but that doesn't make them subordinate to that channel.
Oh, Prabhuji. So he's like not a, I mean, he's basically just like Krishna, right? Himself comes.
Yes,
He's not like, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. And to be frank with you, Prabhu, I don't think at this moment I would like to take you in the complexity of all these. Someday, some other day, when we are further advanced, probably when we reach the third book or something, I can further expand upon this. But for now, it's easy for us to just keep this concept that Ram is coming right from the spiritual world, and then there is Narayan in the material world. So just keep them separate. Later on, I can give you more details about all these, how they work and how these expansions and Chaturvyuha and then second Chaturvyuha and all that. I can give you those more details more later on. I just want to avoid it because it might confuse some of the people who are here.
you so much, Prabhuji.
There are two people who have raised their hands. I can't see them there. Can please go ahead. Who's it? Atil, maybe?
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Please, yes, go ahead.
So you answered one of my question, which was both Ram Bhagwan and Krishna Bhagwan, they come from Goloka, right?
Mhm.
And all of the other avatars like Vaman Dev, Nrsimha Dev, where do they come from? Do they not come from Goloka also? Or
Yes, they also come from Goloka. So if I show you the chart,
Mm,
Madhvi, I was just showing
yeah,
the chart, right?
I see them
See
on the
that
second one.
there is boar, there is the boar incarnation. Here is the fish incarnation. Here is
Okay.
Narsimha Dev incarnation. Here
Uh-huh.
is who's this? Buddha incarnation. So all the incarnations they're coming from the spiritual world.
Okay.
But the difference lies in the fact, as I was mentioning, they come with a very specific purpose. They do it and they go back. They don't do any other leela. They don't do any other pastimes.
Okay.
Whereas Bhagwan Ram came for
Hmm.
a very long time. He did multiple pastimes. He came to kill the demons and then he came to protect the devotees. So he was fulfilling the verse that Krishna says,
Hmm.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Yeah.
So I come every yuga to establish religion, to protect my devotees, to annihilate the demons. But
Right.
then the other incarnations, they necessarily didn't come with that broader, elaborate plan. They just came for a short period of time and then they went back home.
Okay. So if you can scroll up on your screen, I had one more question. So from the Karna ocean and the one universe, uh, Vishnu Bhagwan is in the Garbha ocean, Garbhodaksha ocean.
So yes, so Karnadaksha is the
Mhm.
Mahavishnu also, from whose
Okay.
spores come all the universes.
Okay.
And then when each universe is formed, Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Okay.
And so he's sitting at the base of this ocean, of this universe, and from his navel comes the lotus flower on
Lotus.
which Brahma is
Okay.
living.
I see. Yeah.
And then Garbhodakshay Vishnu expands as Kshirodakshay Vishnu, who's
Uh-huh.
also the Paramatma and sitting in everybody's heart.
Okay. Shri
Those are the three expansions.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And
Okay.
and Shankar Bhagwan also comes from Vishnu Bhagwan, right?
So Shankar Bhagwan has two aspects, Mataji. One
Mm-hmm.
is Shiv and one is Sadashiv. One Shiv has material, is in this material world you see here, Lord
Right.
Shiva. But
Okay.
then there is also a Kailash, a part in the spiritual world. That's Sadashiv.
Ah.
So
Okay.
this is another concept. I'll touch on it in when we come to Bhagavad Gita. There is a discussion of this, so we'll touch on this there. But it depends. So you have to be clear on which Shiva is the scripture talking about.
Oh, okay.
It could be from the spiritual world or the material world. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was another hand. I think Gandharvika was that you?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
How
Krishna.
can a pure devotee go to like Ayodhya? Um,
Whatever relationship you have developed in your lifetime, you can go there, and all is okay. All is perfect.
so not only Goloka Vrindavan, they go to other planets.
So it depends on how you have developed the relationship with. There are many people, like even when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Mm.
probably I'm not sure if you all are familiar, but uh, Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami have a third brother called Anupam. Anupam was a pure devotee of Lord Ram. And Mahaprabhu one evening, just to test him, tell him, why are you praying to Ram? You should chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And Anupam really appreciated Mahaprabhu, really respected him. He said, okay, from today evening I'll chant. The whole night he tried to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but he could not. He kept on crying. He says, I cannot fix my heart on Krishna. My heart is in Bhagwan Ram. And next morning he comes crying to Mahaprabhu and says, Mahaprabhu, I could not follow the instruction because my heart was fully surrendered to Lord Ram. And Mahaprabhu became very happy with him. And he said, that's fine. I was just testing you. Go and chant Lord Ram's name. So whatever form of Bhagavan comes and sits in your heart, you can go to their abode. So the spiritual world you don't see as good, better, best. It's not like, oh, one is bad, the other is better, the third is good. No. It's perfect, more perfect, and most perfect.
Mm.
So there's a slightly different configuration. And so that's the way to look at it. So it's our heart's inclination where it takes us.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But I think we have been asking questions. But one important thing I wanted to show you in this chart, very intelligent, very nicely thing. We are here, Bhuloka, and you see the Hare Krishna mantra going here. Can you all see that in the
Yeah.
screen?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's the Hare Krishna mantra going. You chant, you chant, you chant. Where does the mantra go? It crosses all the boundaries. It crosses this ocean, this place, goes to Vaikuntha, goes up. And what it does is it goes and wraps itself on the feet of Krishna. And then it comes back to you. So when you chant every morning or whenever you chant, you are having a direct connection with Krishna right there with your chanting. So understand that chanting has the power to cross every boundary that exists in this material or spiritual world and can take you directly to Krishna, to Golok Vrindavan. So whenever you chant with this thought that when I'm chanting, I'm practically connecting with Krishna right now. So that's the power of chanting. So that's the most important thing in this chart. I took you through many other things, but this is the most important thing. That the mantra can cross all boundaries, whatever boundaries there are, one universe, millions of universe, Karna ocean, Brahm Jyoti, whatever, and it takes you up there. So whenever you chant with this thought. Okay? Okay, that was a long detour. Let me go back. But that's the kind of the hierarchy that's being shown here. And I'll post this in the group so that you all can look at it at your leisure time. Let's go back what we were doing. Where's that? Yes.
Prabhuji, just one question.
Yes, true.
Prabhuji, is like Bhurloka only one earth like we live in, or there could be like multiple Bhurloka within this one universe we are in?
There are multiple. So in each universe, there are layers. So Bhuvar Loka means there are millions of universes at this earthly planetary system. So right, when you chant the Gayatri mantra, right? Om Bhur Bhuva. So Bhur Loka, there is Bhuvar Loka. That's the next level. Then there is Swarga Loka, right? Then there is Tapa Loka, Jana Loka, Brahma. There are 7 planets. And then similarly, when you go downwards, but each of them has multiple number of planets in it. It's not just one, probably.
It's a ring, right, Prabhuji? It's almost like a ring that because
you can think of it that way. So yeah, there are many planets in that one loka. When they call it loka, it's loka means a collection of universe of planets.
So Seshnag, Balram, Bhagwan, he's not in the Goloka.
No, so he's in. Let me show you that again. Go back. So Bhagwan is in Goloka, but he expands in as Anantashesha. You see at the bottom here.
Hang on. Oh, okay.
So Anantashesha, he's expanding as Anantashesha, but Balram in his original form is in Golok Vrindavan also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, I got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Where did my PDF go? Okay, I thought PDF is right here. Just 1 second. Yeah, so this verse is giving us the hierarchy of all these of the spiritual world. Okay, and when we see that, so I just showed you that hierarchy in the right. So it's going all the way from Vaikuntha, going to Mathura, Vrindavan, Govardhan, and we will see each reason. So I will put the reasons here. Right, Vaikuntha obviously spiritual world is better than material. Mathura because Bhagavan Krishna he appeared in Mathura. Vrindavan because Krishna did all his pastimes in Vrindavan, and Govardhan because Krishna personally lifted the Govardhan with his hand, and Radha Kunda where his love overflows, where he used to have pastimes with Radharani. So that's here to understand here. So let's just quickly go over this verse. Okay, so 10th verse will talk of hierarchy of. So 9th is about places, 10th is about people, and then the last verse will tell about the glory of Radha Kund. Okay, so now we have discussed the importance of sadhana bhakti. Now let's presume a person he has perfected the process under the guidance of an expert spiritual master. He will be allowed to enter further into the realm of Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means spontaneous bhakti. Okay, right? And from there we can elevate to Bhava and Prema Bhakti. Right? So, and this evolution is taking very naturally. There's nothing artificial in it, right? For example, the ability of a child, right? So the ability of a child to roll comes, right? So first the child is a baby, then he learns to roll, then the baby learns to crawl, then to walk, then he's unsteady, then he learns to walk properly, then he starts to run. So if the child hasn't properly learned to walk, and tries to imitate a runner, what will happen? The child will get hurt badly, right? And as I told you, we will be born in Vrindavan as a monkey. If I try to imitate a pure devotee or try to imitate oh, I am in Vrindavan, I am Gopi, I am doing rasa with Krishna, please don't fall trap to all that nonsense. And there are so many of such Babajis existing in Vrindavan, so please don't fall that. Go through a proper process, which is a very organic and natural process given to us by Prabhupada, and then eventually our identity will be revealed to us. So that's what. So okay. So beyond this material world is spiritual world. This world is Dukhalyam Ashashvatam. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 15, Krishna says, Mam upetya tu konteya. No. Mam upetya punarjanma. Dukhalyam Ashashvatam. Napnuvanti Mahatmana Samsiddhim Paramam Gata. That this world is Dukhalyam, it's a place of misery, and Ashashvatam, it's temporary. Right? But when you come to my place, then you never go from there. Right? But as I was saying, please don't judge this Vaikuntha as, oh, this is a lower place, this is useless. No. As I was saying, different spiritual planets are perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. Right? So this Radha Kund, to give you a background, before when Mahaprabhu came, Radha Kund was not known to anybody. Mahaprabhu sent Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to Vrindavan to excavate places of Krishna's pastimes. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita 18th chapter, Madhya Leela 18th chapter, if you want to read that. So Mahaprabhu visited, and then when Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami went there, they read scriptures and they located Radha Kund. Then Mahaprabhu came and Mahaprabhu confirmed that yes, this is Radha Kund, right? So just to give you a brief story behind Radha Kund, after Krishna kills Abhīṣṭa-dohaṁ, which was a bull demon, gopis tell Krishna, oh, that you are dirty. You have killed a bull. You should atone for it. Okay. So Krishna says, what should I do to atone? So he says, gopis tell him that go and bathe in all the holy places all over the universe. Krishna said, oh, that's it? So with his heel, he struck the ground. And there formed a nice cavity, hole. He then mentally called all the holy places in the universe. They all appeared, they paid obeisances to Krishna, and Krishna asked them to manifest themselves in the kunda. Then Krishna took a bath in it. But then Krishna, being the mischievous one, how can he let gopis go scot-free? So he said, now that you have been siding with Abhīṣṭa-dohaṁ, you also have become contaminated. So you also have to take a bath for your sin. But Krishna said, don't worry. There is a kund here already. You can take bath. But the gopi said, no, we are not going to take bath in your kunda. Your sins are there in it, Krishna. So then they start digging another lake for themselves. And so they break their bangles and they start digging the land with their bangles. And Krishna was just standing in the corner thinking, how long is it going to take them? So when they got tired, then Krishna said, he said, I'll dig it for you. And then he offered to fill it water from his kund to overflow into their kund, right? Radha Kund. So this Radha Kund contains not just water, it contains liquefied form of Krishna Prema, right? If Krishna Prema was to manifest as water, it will be Radha Kund. So the affection of Radha Rani, the affection Radha Rani carries for Krishna is available for us to contact and be purified with in the Radha Kund. Okay. So before Mahaprabhu came, this place was gone, so he had to find it. So, but one thing to understand, Prabhupada gives this explanation that when we go to Radha Kund, it should be a mood of reverence. Once what happened, and I think I have a section of one of Prabhupada's past. I think he was having a discussion with one of his disciples. That one of his disciples, they went to Radha Kund and they started jumping and frolicking in there. And Prabhupada got very angry. He said, no, you don't come here and just joke around in Radha Kund. So Prabhupada was very clear. So for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavs, Radha Kund is the most important place in the world, right? Uh, but then how to understand the spiritual world is manifesting in this world. So you have to understand that we all don't have the adhikar, or we don't have the or adhikar. Adhikar. What is adhikar in English? How do you translate it? Can somebody help me?
Our right.
Right.
Our rights. Yes, that's a good word.
That's it.
Yeah. So dham can only be perceived on the basis of what our rights are, what we have achieved through our bhakti process. So if I give you an example, when you all, if you work somewhere and you get a laptop, you don't have access to all the files on your computer. Many of them are just hidden and only administrators can access it. CEO might have complete access, but not others. So when we are in a material consciousness, when we go to a dham, we see material things, not spiritual reality, as we don't have the adhikar yet. We don't have the rights. It's not accessible to us. Other devotees might have access. Advanced devotees have access to it, right? We have the capability to get access, but don't have it now. So we pray for spiritual realization and try to see the dham through the eyes of the scriptures of a pure devotee. We see with our ears. When we go with devotees to dham and perceive, purify, and integrate these to get the benefit, spiritual revelations. So when you go to the temple, you don't go to see the Lord. You go to be seen by the Lord. We get purified by going to the dham, even though we will not see it. This is why Prabhupada really wanted to make temples in Vrindavan and Maya. So we use our senses to serve the Lord. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. There was a hand up. Atilviri Mataji, was that you? Tell me.
Yeah, Prabhuji. You're talking about privileges, but so privileges are attained by our karmas also, right?
Karmas are in Krishna's control. He can remove them.
Mhm.
Your privileges, well, or let me put it this way. Your karma can be obstructions in the path of your bhakti. Yes, they can. But can you overcome them? Can Krishna remove them? Yes, Krishna
Yeah.
can do that. Yes.
S- Can you repeat that again, Prabhuji? Sorry. So you said your
Kar-
karma.
your
Mhm.
karma can be an obstruction to your progress in bhakti.
Okay.
Yes, it can be. However, Krishna is far superior than karma. Karma is under Krishna's control. Krishna can remove those karmas out of your life if you are sincere in your practice, if Krishna sees that.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so you've got the hierarchy. Mathura, Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Mathura, Krishna was born. Vrindavan, he did his pastimes there. Govardhan, because he raised the Govardhan, and all the devotees came together for 7 days. So in that pastime, lot of taste. There was a lot of loving relation, reciprocation. That's why Krishna loves Govardhan so much, right? Krishna was giving, or Yashoda Maya was giving Krishna food, and there was Radharani standing in a corner just looking at, giving side glances to him. His friends were frolicking, joking around. So then Radha Kund, it sits at the foot of Govardhan and is the place where Krishna's love is manifested. So that's the way to understand this hierarchy. Okay, so that's the ninth verse. All clear in this verse? Any thoughts, comments, questions? Let me see if there's anything in the. I think I have some more slides.
So Prabhuji, is a hierarchy, is a Vaikuntha is like a Golaka, right? It's the same as Golaka. Vrindavan.
Vaikuntha is the spiritual world. It's not like Goloka. Goloka is superior than Vaikuntha.
Right, and that Govardhan and all comes in a Golaka.
Yes, they come in Goloka.
Right. So Golaka is the highest. And then Krishna Lok.
Well, Golok is Krishna Lok. Golok Vrindavan is Krishna Lok.
Okay, same thing. Golaka.
Same thing.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, thank you.
Yes, Sandeep Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Radha Kund is higher than the Vaikuntha, right? So,
Yes.
in other words, love for Krishna is higher than Krishna's own abode. So, essentially, being with Krishna is not as I mean, is a little bit lower
Vaikuntha,
than.
Vaikuntha is not Krishna's abode. As I mentioned, Vaikuntha is where Narayan rules. Above Vaikuntha is the Golok Vrindavan where Krishna lives. And in Golok Vrindavan is Govardhan and Radha.
So, okay, Golok Vrindavan, comparing it to like Golok Vrindavan, you're saying like being in Golok Vrindavan is a little bit less than being in Radha Kund, right? Because being in love
It's
is
not
more
less, it's the
important.
same place. It's the same place, right? Vrindavan, like when you go to Vrindavan, Govardhan and Radha Kund are in Vrindavan, right?
And Gokul, yeah.
Yeah. So why, I'm not sure why you're separating Radha Kund from Vrindavan. It's right
Because
there in Vrindavan.
like from a hierarchy perspective, right? The highest is the uh that Radha Kund, right?
Okay, so
So
let's look at it this way. A newlywed husband and wife, they live in a house. The husband's wife, parents live in the house, right? It's the same house, right? But then the husband, the wife gets some alone time with his husband in their bedroom. She can talk to him more personally. So that becomes a special place for the husband and wife. But the house is also the same, right? It's their house. Yeah, there's one part of that house which is more having a more loving relationship there. But that doesn't mean that the house is inferior to that room. Does that make sense, bro?
okay, Pooja, yeah, I think I'll think about it. So it's a little bit
Yeah, yeah.
complicated, yeah.
Think
Yeah,
about it. It's not
yeah.
complicated. I don't know why are you making it complicated? It's not complicated, bro. It's the same place. It's just that in right, like when you play cricket, right? Some places are more of interest that oh, I want to be in this position. But it's all a game. It's all the cricket is a game. So it's not different than anything. Radhakunda is not different than Krishna or Radharani. Is there love manifesting there? Govardhan is not separate from Krishna in any way.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Deepti, I see your hand is up. Please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I have a very basic, like maybe I should have asked this in the beginning before when you started, but anyway, so the chart you showed and where you discuss about all the hierarchy, I understand. But then, like, what I'm confused about is, are we talking about like our our Vrindavan, like where our Goswamis went and they discovered things? Like, are we talking
Mhm.
about that hierarchy, or are we talking about the spiritual world which you showed in the chart here?
The hierarchy is the same, either in the material world or the spiritual world. In the material world, it does not manifest to you because we are not pure enough to see it. In Vrindavan, as I've heard many times, the pastimes are still happening, but I am so contaminated that I cannot see them happening. So the hierarchy remains same, whether you're in the material world or the spiritual world.
Okay, so when we talk about going and residing by Radha Kund, we talk about our Radha Kund, like
Yeah, you can.
the
Yes, you can
Vrindavan.
talk about. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And further on as we go, Prabhupada will give more details on how to reside in Vrindavan and what should be our mindset and all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Was there nothing? Okay. Yeah, so and these are the four reasons that Prabhupada gave in there that yes, Mahaprabhu was searching for that location. That's why this Rupa Goswami is stressing so much on it. And then Prabhupada also mentioned that this is a very special place for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas because we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is of extreme love for us as Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
So, Prabhuji, you said that when Goswami found the Radhakund, Srila Prabhupada approved it. Sorry, Srila
Mahaprabhu approved it, yes.
Mahaprabhu
Yeah,
approved it. But
yeah.
he came to, I mean, he approved it by like in his dream or in his meditation, or because
No,
he just came.
Mahaprabhu was alive when they found that.
No, but he didn't come there. He just came to Vrindavan only once.
Yeah,
Mahaprabhu.
so that time he can come and see it, right?
Because when Rup Goswami was there in Vrindavan,
Mhm.
Mahaprabhu was in Nilachal.
Yeah, so but Mahaprabhu did visit Vrindavan. Yeah, I'm not I'm sure.
Yeah,
He did visit Vrindavan,
yeah,
and he
he
confirmed that.
visited before Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. He came earlier than them, and then he sent them. I mean, and that's what I know, that he just came once to Vrindavan.
Okay, I'll send you some references where it's given when he came and all that. I can share that with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Was there any other hand up? No. 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 It's okay. Let's move forward. So now we talked about the 9th verse, which was the hierarchy of the places. So now in the 10th verse, we'll talk about hierarchy of people. Okay. So let's read the translation for this. In the Shastra, this is the 10th verse I'm reading now. In the Shastra, it is said that all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life, is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kund lake is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radhakund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, Aprakarta Bhav, render loving service to the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radhakund are the most fortunate people in the universe. So here we are given the hierarchy of persons now. So there are people, they are karmis. Well, let's see if I think I had a slide for this too. Let me see if I had it. Right, okay, so this is the hierarchy for all the people now that's being explained here. And so we start with people who are vikarmis. They don't work at all without, they don't want to follow Vedas, right? There's there was Charvaka Muni was a person who propagated the philosophy that Ritam Ghrina. I forgot. There was this beautiful verse he says that drink and eat and be happy. Don't worry about anything. So that was the kind of philosophy that Vikarmis followed. And just be happy in mind, nothing to worry about. That's the lowest. Then there are karmis who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge. Okay? But they are working with a very ulterior motive that I want to enjoy. So that's why they're doing it. Then there are jnanis, right? They are eager to understand the science of soul. Right? They are not blindly following sense enjoyment. Then comes devotees who are doing under regulative principles. That's like devotees, neophyte devotees. Then there are devotees who are very spontaneous in their devotional. That's Raga Nuga Bhakti. And then top above them is gopis, who don't do anything other than satisfying Krishna. And then the topmost is Radharani. And no one can excel Radharani. So that's the hierarchy that's being talked about here. So Prabhupada briefly describes all these in the purport, right? So, for example, Prabhupada starts by giving us the three energies. We have talked about the three energies. Anybody remembers what are the three energies of Krishna?
The energy. Oh, the uh, external, internal, and marginal. Is
Okay.
it?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Can somebody elaborate upon it? What are those three energies?
So we are belong to marginal energies.
Yeah. What is external and other one, you said?
External is like in this world, like gunas, like three gunas and material nature.
Material. It's more around the material.
And then marginal, and then excuse me. So we are. I mean, if we are successful in devotional service, we can be either. We can go external energy or internal energy. We have a
Yeah.
we can go further in
Okay.
devotion and we can attain the internal potency of
Yes,
God.
that's correct. Yeah. So Prabhupada begins by explaining those three energies briefly again. And the reason he's explaining because the lowest category of people, the Vikarmis, are the ones who want to exploit this material energy. They have no clue of Vedas, rules, regulations, and anything. So that's why they're the lowest people. When they come to scriptures, they still want to enjoy, but they're enjoying within the framework of Vedas. So they become karmis. Okay. So that's why Prabhupada begins with the description of the three energies. Okay. So so yeah. So then we progress further. There are jnanis and there are bhaktas and devotees, right? So now somebody can ask us that, okay, that's fine. Yes, I don't want to be the lowest stage where I have no clue of Vedas. Okay, then we come to become karmis. But then what's the harm with jnanis? Jnanis are also, uh, they're cultivating knowledge. But the difference between a jnani, like, you can say that we are also cultivating knowledge, right? We are sitting here discussing scriptures. This is also cultivating knowledge. So we are also jnanis in one sense. But the jnanis that are being referred to here are people who are just, they don't have any information of devotional service. They are just cultivating jnana. They have neglected their duties in Krishna consciousness, right? So that's the flaw with jnanis, right? And then we see that those jnanis, when they perform devotional service, then they become bhaktas, right? For example, the Narad Muni, in his past life, he was a child who served some pure devotees. And because of that, he got some sukriti, some piety. That's why then he started meditating. But it was not like he saw Krishna or met Krishna in that same life. No, Krishna gave him a quick view of him, but then he disappeared, and he said that you're not yet ready because he was a jnani. He had to come to the level of bhakti, and then Narad Muni became Narad Muni. Right? Then come the topmost level are the gopis. They don't expect anything from Krishna. Once Narad Muni was asking Bhagwan Krishna that, Krishna, who's your topmost devotee? And Narad Muni thought, oh, there are so many sages meditating for thousands of years, austerity, they might be the best. But Krishna said, okay, let's do one thing. You find out who's my best devotee. Go down on the planet Earth and then ask everybody that Krishna's having a very bad headache, and only the dust of your feet can cure that headache. So he goes to those sages who've been practicing meditating for thousands of years. They say, no, no, do you want us to go to hell? If I give the dust of my feet for Krishna to put on his head, I'll go to hell forever. And then Nag Muni goes everywhere, doesn't find anybody. Then he goes to these gopis who are engaged in such a material life, kind of, right? They're taking care of their families, they have, all that. So he said, okay, let me ask these girls also. He goes to the gopis and he says, gopis, Krishna is having a headache. He needs the dust of your feet. The gopi said, oh, is it? Take whatever you want. Then Narad Muni was surprised. He said, are you not afraid of going to hell? He says, for Krishna, we don't worry. We'll go everywhere, anywhere. So they don't expect anything from Krishna and they're fully dedicated to Krishna. That's the love of a pure devotee. If you see Prabhupada, 24/7, it was all about Krishna, nothing about himself. Prabhupada was ready to live in a hut with no electricity for himself, but for Krishna, he built such opulent temples. Prabhupada would never spend a penny on himself. If you read the Leela Amrita, you all should read the Leela Amrita, first of all. If you haven't done that, let me know. I can send you a copy. Leela Amrita, you'll see how Prabhupada would not eat his breakfast, walk many, many miles in Delhi to go to his printing press and to buy paper and to go to the printing press and get the Back to Godhead magazine printed. But the same Prabhupada would spend millions and millions of dollars to build temples, for creating publishing house. He created BVT. Why? Because nothing for himself, everything for Krishna. That's the quality of a pure devotee, and that's the quality we see in gopis. And out of the gopis, Radharani is the topmost. Okay, so he's the supreme enjoyer. In this material world, everybody wants to be an enjoyer. Say, I want to enjoy. But Krishna says in the 5th chapter, last verse, Bhoktaram yajna tapasa, sarva loka maheshwara, suhirdam sarva bhutana, gyatva mam shanti mrichati. He says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam, that I am the enjoyer of any sacrifice you are doing in this creation. But the power of love is such that in Vrindavan, devotees are enjoying more than Krishna. That's why when Krishna comes as Mahaprabhu, he's come to know that what is it that Radharani is enjoying more than me. I mean, I am Bhagavan, I am the source of all the happiness in this creation, but Radharani is enjoying more than me. So where's that coming from? That's coming from serving Krishna. Once again, a bit of an esoteric topic. I won't go into those details. I can we can talk about it later, but that's the kind of a thought process Krishna has there. So here we are talking about going to Vrindavan. Okay, the Vrindavan being the top. But on the contrary, Prabhupada left Vrindavan and came to preach Krishna consciousness for unfortunate people like me. Right? He came here. So that is called Vipralamba Seva. Vipralamba Seva, Prabhupada talks about in the purport. If you read it, you'll find it. So Vipralamba Seva means serving in separation.
Separation.
Yeah. So now just imagine, now we're coming to the essence that, yeah, the last verse, 9th verse said, oh yes, the highest, you sit down near Radhakund and do your chanting. That's the highest bhajan. But here what we are seeing from example of Prabhupada, he left Radhakund to preach. So what should we be doing? All being Prabhupada followers, we should also be serving in Vipralambha by carrying these places in our heart. Despite being a spiritual resident, Prabhupada, he was not in Vrindavan, but he spent his time doing all the preaching activities. Because in his heart, Vrindavan existed. That preaching attitude should be our main mode. Right? That will lead to our purification. And then when we have done enough purification has happened, then Krishna will reveal that knowledge in our heart and we will be able to see Radha Kund in the true form. Right? So once somebody asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, you said, oh, you should do your bhajan throughout your life and then when you retire, then you can go to Vrindavan. What is the appropriate age to retire? Prabhupada said, as far as I am concerned, neither do I feel old nor I am fit for retirement. I am relishing my activities here and engaging in bhajan. So all of us should be that mood. We should all have that thought that, Krishna, please let me do my service to my spiritual master, my Prabhupada, and may I leave my body in that mindset that I'm doing service to my guru. And that's the best position to leave your body in. Okay. So preaching is the essence. That's what Prabhupada said, right? Books are the basis, preaching is the essence. So keep that in mind. So by reading these verses, don't think that, oh, I'm ready, I'm going to go to Vrindavan, and I'm going to sit there, chant near Radhakund. One day a plane will come, take me to Goloka. Not going to happen. Better would be that you serve here. And serve means not just do some very minor service here and there. Do service that pulls you out of your comfort zone. Right? On Janmashtami, Vidya Mataji was telling me that she's going out of her comfort zone to do service. And Krishna notices that this person, he left his comfort for my sake. And then Krishna can never leave that devotee. So always keep that in mind. Going to Radhakund is not the goal, but generating that Vrindavan in your heart is the goal. And how does that happen? That comes through your service path that Prabhupada has shown us. Don't fall trap to Babaji's in Vrindavan. Don't fall trap to those Samartha Brahmins who are just showing off that they know so many verses. Or don't fall trap to those, Sahajiya Bhaktas in Vrindavan who are just showing off, oh, I am Radharani, oh, I am Krishna, I'm going to do Ras Leela, I can do this. Don't fall trap to all that nonsense. Please. Do your service. Automatically, at one time, organically, you will get the knowledge, what your true form is. Follow that path and eventually go back home, back to it. Okay, yes. So this is the hierarchy that Prabhupada is giving, or not Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami is giving us. Okay, so the last verse, yes, Satya, really.
Oh, sorry to disturb. One quick question. You said Vimbra, say Vimbra Lila
Vipralamba.
Vipralamba Seva.
Let me show you in the verse also. Prabhupada is talking.
Is that also in Adilila, Prabhu?
Vipralamba is love in separation, right? So yes, it will be there. Mahaprabhu was pining for Krishna, so he was feeling that separation. Yes. So it's in that also, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, you see, rather Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Prabhupada is giving us this clearly. Don't fall trap. Always be conscious that I have to serve Krishna. And serve, there is a verse in the 10th canto, 2nd chapter, 37th verse. Shrinavan Grirnan Samashriyascha Chintan Kriyashu Charanarvindayo. Let me show you that verse.
Which chapter?
10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 37.
37.
And I'll show you that verse. I'm just opening it. Oh no, 10 to 37, not 14, 10 to 37. I just want to show you how clear Prabhupada was in what he was saying. Okay. Okay, so for those who want to keep record, 10 to 37, Srimad Bhagavatam. Even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed at your lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate, and cause others to remember your transcendental names and forms are always on the transcendental platform. And thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even while engaging in various activities, your mind and your heart is Krishna. You're doing so many activities. But what I wanted to show is there is a verse here, a word here. Kriyashu yascha charanarvindayo. Prabhupada translates the word Kriyashu as being engaged in devotional service. But then Prabhupada gives a very good answer to this further on. The word Kriyashu, meaning by manual labor or by work, is important in this verse. One should engage in practical service to the Lord. And then Prabhupada gives the example of book distribution. Don't think, yes, service, yes, all services are good. However, you have to engage in practical service. Manual labor has to be involved in that. There has to be some sort of a service where you are coming out of your comfort zone. Not that I'm wearing this beautiful kurta and dhoti and I have a beautiful tilak. I come with this very good perfume on and oh, I'm dancing. Yeah, that's good. No harm. But there has to be physical labor. That is your service. And I'll go back to where we were. Any thoughts or comments before I jump back? Where is that?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing all the verses.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's Vipralamba saying this. Okay, so 11th verse, how much time do we have? We have another 15 minutes. Let's see if I can finish this, otherwise we can continue it next week. Okay, so the last one, the 11th verse is the hierarchy of, this is the topmost goal. We talked about the hierarchy of places and then people and the topmost goal. Of the most objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Rajbhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love to Krishna is fully aroused. Right? So, Prabhupada is telling us, Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is the most important item in execution of devotional service. However, Prabhupada makes a point that he also clarifies what this. Should have. Is it? I'm just trying to see. Well, I'm looking for something. Give me a second. Okay, I think it's I can't find what I'm looking for, but let's go for it. So yes, so in here, so so if you do this practice, you will be able to go back to Godhead in this lifetime, right? So we talked about the topmost place, topmost devotee, and now they both are combined to offer the combined mercy through Radha. So uh, we understand the glories of devotees or dham through service. Scriptural descriptions and sensory perception help us to get realization and see dham. अथा श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेद ग्रहिम इंद्रिय सेवोन्मुखी जीवादु स्वयं एव स्फुरत्यदा. Right? So it's very hard for us to grasp the holy name of Krishna because of our senses. But then if we engage in service, then we can come to that level. So right now I have turned my face away from Krishna. Right? So, but then Krishna can give us remembrance when he sees our sincerity. So going to Radha Kund, what is being Prabhupada is telling, or even Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling us that it's um, it's pure devotees that if I go there and I because my mind is not clean, my heart is not pure, then that purification, yes, there will be some purification, but I'll not like become a pure devotee, right? And I might do some mistakes there. So we have to be very careful also. So uh, yeah, and Prabhupada says that it's interesting that it's rarely attained. And I think that word is showing here, rarely attained. Somewhere Prabhupada says this. Looks like I can't find things today. Where was that? There should be it. Oh yeah, it is his. It's the the 11th verse. The Prabhupada says, rarely attained. Radhakund is very rarely attained. So why is it rarely attained? Because people who think that they're going and they'll take a bath, but then uh, they don't fall under the jurisdiction of my will. They are under the jurisdiction of spiritual energy of Krishna. Many people in ISKCON, they're trying to stay in Vrindavan. They think that, oh, I'll go to Vrindavan, I'll stay there, I'll become a pure devotee. There was once a brahmachari, he went to Yatra, and then he went missing in Vrindavan. So later, many years later, some devotees met him and they found out that he wanted to try to live in Vrindavan and become pure. But actually, what happened? That he developed psychological problems. And then his parents refused to take care of him. Then ISKCON took care of him and brought him back to normalcy. So rarely attained means that, does it mean that we can't go there? No, it doesn't mean that. It means we can't access it. We go to Vrindavan, but do we really enter Vrindavan? No. Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, towards the end, I think it's the 25th verse, Naham prakasha sarvasya yog maya samavrit. Mudho yam nahvi janati, loko mamajam abhyayam. Krishna says, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. Even when Krishna was present on this earth, everybody saw him. When he went to the assembly of Dhritarashtra asking for a little bit of land for the Pandavas, what did Duryodhan do? He says, oh, he's a coward boy. Put him in jail. And then Krishna showed his Vishwarupa. All the others could see that he is Bhagavan, but Duryodhan couldn't see him as Bhagavan. Similarly, if I don't have the level of purity, I might go to Vrindavan, but will not be able to enter Vrindavan. Right? So it's not manifest to everyone. Atil Veli Mataji, yes, your hand was up.
So Prabhuji, are you so you're saying you may go to Vrindavan, but you may not enter. So is that like physically or like mentally?
No. So when entering Vrindavan, when I say entering Vrindavan, I mean seeing Vrindavan in its true form.
Okay,
as an abode of Krishna, seeing that loving pastimes. We are not able to feel it, right? I don't know, you all might be feeling it, but when I go to Vrindavan, I don't feel it because my heart is not pure. It's very dirty. My mind is full of nonsense things. So, when I keep practicing with sincerity, then Krishna will give me that knowledge. That okay, now I'll be able then this Vrindavan will manifest. So yeah, physically you may enter, But spiritually, it will not. It will only happen through Krishna's mercy.
Okay.
Right? Just as I mentioned, right? Krishna was present here physically, but was everybody seeing him as Bhagwan? No. So the same concept you can apply to Vrindavan.
Okay. The
Uh,
beauty is in the eye of the beholder concept.
yeah, that's a kind of a concept. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Unless we are qualified, we cannot enter. You cannot barge into Vrindavan. Right? So then, then the question is, should we reside in Radhakund? That's the question, because this verse is telling us that, right? So yes, the scripture is giving us the glory of Radhakund, but there are other factors also. Right?
So what is the feeling that we feel when we go to Vrindavan and you feel different? You kind of completely like, it's almost like an out of body experience. What is that?
Well, that's good, but are you able to carry that experience?
No, once
No,
we
right?
come here, it's gone.
It's gone, right? Because yeah, that is a like a temporary thing. Yes, you can get temporary realizations, right? Many of us get realizations, temporary realizations. Something happens in your life and you realize, oh my God, this was Krishna for sure. We all get that. But then they go away. Why? Because I don't have the purity enough to sustain those realizations for a longer period of time. So same thing what you're referring to. Yeah, you might have a realization, some mind calming of your mind. Yeah, it might happen. But then the bigger thing is that am I purified enough to carry it wherever I go? A pure devotee like Prabhupada was carrying it wherever he's going. He can sit in the middle of the hippies and convert all of them into happies and pure devotees. But if I go and sit in the middle of hippies, I'll become a hippie for sure, because my heart is not clean. My heart doesn't have Vrindavan. Did that make sense, Abhi?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So yes, I was saying that scriptures give us glory, but there are other factors also to take into account, right? Yes, Rupa Goswami is talking about bathing in Radhakund in the 11th verse, but he also gave the earlier verses for our progression to become purified, so that we are ready to take bath in Radhakund. Don't try to jump on the 11th verse and say, oh, Rupa Goswami said, bathe in Radhakund, I'm going to bathe in Radhakund. No, no. He also gave the other 9, 10 verses, right? Follow them. It's a progression, right? Some people say, oh, I like hearing the Rasa Leela of Krishna. Do you think, Sukadev was dumb that he spoke the 9 cantos before the 10th? The reason he spoke the 9th canto was so that you can become purified enough to hear the 10th canto. That was the reason. Similarly, the earlier 10 verses are existing because we can become pure enough to go and do pure bhakti in Radhakund. Don't try to jump onto it. That's the understanding attitude, right? You don't have a demanding attitude that, oh, I'm bathing in Radhakund, oh, I am come to Vrindavan, I should be pure. No. Perfection of love will happen when everything that we are doing contributes to the intensification of love. Prabhupada followed the mood of Radharani. What is the mood of Radharani? She goes and brings many gopis as possible and coordinates the efforts in a way that Krishna's pleasure can be maximized. She herself prefers to stay in background also. That's what Prabhupada's mood was. He brought all these hippies and all these people to come and participate in Krishna's movement. So Prabhupada made the mood of Radharani more prominent than this act of simply residing in Radhakund. We have to pick up on that mood and mission. If we cultivate our lives in this way, where we follow service and separation, now and then visiting Dham, we will reap the fruits of our service. Then everything will be revealed to us. Remembrance of Krishna, our eternal identity of in Krishna's service, everything will be revealed to us. Right? Prabhupada had Vrindavan in his heart. In 1966, when Prabhupada came here, a reporter was asking Prabhupada, the reporter said, oh, you're living in New York. Okay, you are a New York resident. He said, no, no, my home is in Vrindavan. I'm just here on the order of my spiritual master. My home is Vrindavan. His separation of Vrindavan was evident in his voice. But he was serving in separation. And that's what we follow. We all being Prabhupada-anugas. There is no better fortune in this entire creation than being a follower of Prabhupada. Okay. Lord Brahma, Brahma in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 3. I think it's 3 or 3. Yes. Yane udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam. Sthane sthita shruti-gatam tanuvan manobhi. Sthane sthita. Wherever you are situated, just engage in service. Engage in chanting, bhajan, and service. And then we'll become pure. Okay? All clear, everyone? What's the time? It's about 5 minutes, I think we're still having. Any thoughts, comments here? All clear?
Probably I had question about that hierarchy on the that where that Vaikunt and the other dham. Would you be able
Mhm.
to pull that please that slide?
Did whatever else I spoke, did that make sense to you, Prabhu?
Yeah, other
Because
ones.
if you got lost in that, then I think I did a disservice of showing that. That
No,
was not important. That was not my purpose to show that we get stuck in. Okay, Prabhu?
no, Prabhuji, that everything else actually beautifully explained and does make
Okay.
sense.
Okay. Then it's okay. Then I'll pull it up.
Yeah, yeah. Only
Bec-
that particular slide and that to one point, Prabhuji. That's what I'm
Sure.
still trying to debate in my own mind. Like kind
Yeah,
of
tell me.
thing. Yeah. So not this, Prabhuji, not this one. The one
Okay.
where like Vaikuntha and then the highest being like Radha Kunda. That one.
Oh, the slide you mean? Okay,
Yeah,
let's
this one.
see.
I mean the. I think this was yeah.
Yeah, this one? Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So here, like, my question, I guess, was I could not phrase it earlier properly for my
Mm-hmm.
own confusion. Was basically that Radha Kunda is higher than Vaikuntha here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now in Vrindavan actually, but
Mm-hmm.
Krishna lives in Vrindavan, and Radha Kund is more like his prema, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are we saying that Krishna's prema is more like is close, is in a way like higher in hierarchy than being in Krishna's abode where Krishna actually lives in Vrindavan? I think that's what I wanted to ask that time.
And what I was saying is Radha Kund is also in Vrindavan, Prabhu. Why are you differentiating both of them?
Okay. I thought it was
And the
outside Vrindavan, right? Somewhere like
no, Radha
waiting.
Kund is in Vrindavan.
Okay, okay.
But then the other thing, I think I get your question. So you have to understand, Prabhu, one thing we have to understand. Krishna is not like me. He can be at multiple places at the same time. In Dwarka, Krishna had 16,108 wives, and he was present with every single wife and doing a completely different thing. There is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni goes and visits Dwarka. In one palace, he sees Krishna playing chess with his wife. In another palace, he sees Krishna playing with his children. Another palace, he sees discussing important matter with his courtiers. So Krishna can be at multiple places at the same time. Yes, he can be with having pastimes with Mother Yashoda, and at the same time also be in Radha Kund having pastimes with Radharani. That's why I'm saying that it's too esoteric for me to wrap my mind around it. We have to look at it from a bhakti, from a heart perspective. That's what my suggestion is. Don't I should not try to understand it from a logical perspective and trying to put it in place, and that might be a bit challenging. Look at it from your heart.
Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay. It made sense this time, Prabhu. I think last time I was not able to explain it properly.
Yeah, Prabhuji, it does make sense, like, from like a standpoint of like Krishna being multiple places, right? And also the
Yeah,
logical part of it. Like too much logic, I think sometimes could be confusing. So it's better to like first,
yeah.
yeah.
Having doubts is a very good thing, and that's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Doubts is very good. However, we should also know where to stop doubting once we have achieved that knowledge, right? So, like for example, you can go to school and say, "Oh no, Dad, I want to read more maths." Okay, beta, go do your masters in math. No, Dad, I want to read more. Okay, go ahead, do your PhD. But if the child keeps saying, "No, I want to read more, read more, read more," what is the dad going to do? At some point, the kid has to stop learning and go and start, applying it, or just know that okay, this is enough for me to move forward in my life. So same kind of a similar thing, right, Prabhu? That knowledge is good, but we also should know where that knowledge has to be kind of now my doubt has to be is clarified. Now I will use that knowledge that has been given to me. I'll develop faith for it through my practices.
Yep. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anything else with anybody?
Prabhuji, last question. You just referred earlier, right before Sandeep Prabhuji's question, chapter 10, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10. Which verse was that?
Just before,
Right before Sandeep Prabhuji was giving you a
that
question.
was 10th canto of
It's
Srimad
10th.
Bhagavatam,
Okay.
14th chapter. It's Lord Brahma's prayers, and if I remember correctly, the verse number is 3. It starts by Jnane Prayase Udapasya Navanta Eva Jivanti Sanmukharitam Bhavadiya Vartam
Okay.
Thane Stita Shruti Tanuvan Manubhir. That's the verse. Yes.
Okay. So Prabhuji, normally, I know you're jumping back and forth when you're referencing. So you're referencing both. I shouldn't say both. You're referencing Bhagavad Gita, Adi Leela, Srimad Bhagavatam. The reason why I'm asking is I'm trying to, when you're referring to it, I'm trying to, I guess, also go back into it and looking at what the
Okay.
language is.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I try to quote the verse numbers
Mhm.
if possible.
Yeah. So next time I'll have all of them open, so it'll be a lot quicker.
Sure. Well,
Instead of
the
asking you,
No, that's okay. But then it might be that I might not always like I quote verses whatever come to my mind, right? It's not like I think of it beforehand that this is the verse I'm going to quote. It's just that whatever in the discussion, the verse I can remember, I quote it. So it might be a bit hard for you to think beforehand, oh, this verse is going to be referred to or anything. But I can surely make it a point that I'll give you the verse number so that you can go back and look at that verse.
Okay.
That I can surely do.
Yeah.
Yes, Sangeeta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So about the Radha Kunda, so I think in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita tree for about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, I think when Pundarik Vidyanidhi and his wife, they were singing the Geet Govinda, and then Radharani came and she created the, like with her toe, she created the pond, and that has become the Radha Kunda. I mean, so
I don't know.
it,
I don't remember if that past time. If there it is, I don't remember it on top of my mind.
okay.
But one thing I think we all know, Pundarik Vidyanidhi is an incarnation of Vrishabhanu, of Radharani's father in this material world. So but I don't know the past time, but I can see there's a connection there, as you're saying. He being an incarnation of Vrishabhanu, Radharani's father. So probably Radharani comes to meet him. Gadadhar Pandit is incarnation of Radharani. So Gadadhar Pandit was a
Yes.
disciple of Pundarik Vidyanidhi.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
but that specific pastime that you're mentioning, I'm not aware of that.
So is it the same Radha Kunda, or that's in different, like that is in Bangladesh? Or no, I don't know. I need to.
I can look up if you have that reference where it is in, then probably we can look at it. If you can send me
Okay.
that reference, I can go through it and probably clarify some things.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.